Section 5.1 Interactive Assignment Objective 4. A bag of 100 tulip bulbs purchased from a nursery contains 40 red tulip bulbs, 25 yellow tulip bulbs, and 35 purple tulip bulbs. In the question, it says, what is the probability that a randomly selected tulip bulb is red? What is the probability that a randomly selected tulip bulb is purple? And then interpret these probabilities. So we're going to go ahead in here and we want to find out what is the probability that a randomly selected tulip bulb is red. So what we need to do is we want to find out the probability that a tulip bulb is red. So I'm going to use red for our event. Okay, so what we want to find is this is going to equal the number of red tulip bulbs divided by the total. So how many are red? Well, we can see here that there are 40 red tulip bulbs. So that means we have 40 over the total of 100. So we had 40, like I said, the number of red were 40, and the total was 100. And so taking 40 and dividing it by 100 is going to give us 0.40. Okay? So now what we want to do is we want to find what is the probability the randomly selected tulip bulb is purple. So that means we want to find the probability that the tulip bulb is purple. So we want to find the number of purple tulip bulbs, and then we're dividing that by the total. So the number of purple we see there is 35, and then we want to divide it by the total. So the number of purple tulips is 35, and again we're dividing it by the total of 100, and therefore we end up getting a probability of 0.35. So let's go ahead and answer these two questions. Okay, so the probability of a randomly selected tulip is red is 0.40. And then we also found the probability the randomly selected tulip bulb is purple is 0.35. Okay, now the question says, select the correct choice below and fill in the answer boxes within your choice. We want to determine how do we interpret these two probabilities. Well, let's go back to these two probabilities. Okay, well, first of all, we know that 0 over 40, okay, if we want to convert this to a percent, would be times 100%, which would give us 40%. And that 40% is the same thing as 40 out of 100. So that means 40 out of 100 are red tulips. Okay, and then likewise, if we take that 0.35 and then convert it to a percent, that's going to equal 35%. How do we write that as a fraction? That is 35 out of 100. So that means 35 out of 100 are going to be 35 purple tulip bulbs. Okay, now the only thing we need to be concerned about is what words do we use. Okay, we cannot say that it is exactly. We have to say about because it's an approximation. So we know that if 100 tulip bulbs were sampled with replacement, one would expect about 40 of the bulbs to be red and 35 of the bulbs to be purple.